Have you ever found yourself staring at a calendar, seeing a deadline that's weeks away and thinking, oh yeah, I've got plenty of time, only to end up in a complete hair-on-fire panic 72 hours before it's due? Well, today, we're going on a little tour of that very special place, the mind of a master procrastinator. It's a place a lot of us know all too well.
You know, every single project starts with this beautiful, logical plan, right? We see ourselves spreading the work out nice and easy over all the available time. But then there's reality. And reality looks a lot more like nothing, 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 and then a terrifying vertical spike of pure sleep-deprived panic. For a true procrastinator, this isn't just a one-time thing. It's a lifestyle.
To really see this system in action, let's look at Tim Urban's 90-page college thesis. This was a project that was supposed to take a whole year. He did it in 72 hours. I mean, after 2 all-nighters, he's literally sprinting across campus to hand it in at the last possible second. And he jokes that the school called him up and said it was the best thesis they'd ever seen. But yeah, that didn't happen. In his own words, it was a very, very bad thesis. And that just proves the point. The system works in that something gets done, but the quality is terrible, and the stress is just off the charts.
So what is actually going on inside a procrastinator's head to make this happen? Well, the core idea here is that their brain is actually different. See, in a non-procrastinator's brain, you've got one guy at the steering wheel, the rational decision maker. He's logical, he plans for the future, he makes sense. But in the procrastinator's brain, he's got a co-pilot, the instant gratification monkey. And that, my friends, is where all the trouble starts. And this is what the monkey sounds like. The rational decision maker is all, okay, it's time to get some work done. But then the monkey just yanks the wheel, and suddenly you're on a 3-hour deep dive into a 90s figure skating scandal, or you're opening the fridge for the 10th time hoping something new has materialized. Or maybe you fall into a YouTube rabbit hole that starts with how black holes work and somehow, miraculously, ends with you watching interviews with Justin Bieber's mom. The monkey has officially hijacked the plan. Now, you gotta understand, the monkey isn't evil. He's simple. He's basically just an animal. He lives by one rule: do what's easy and fun. He has no memory of the past, no concept of the future, and zero understanding of things like deadlines or consequences. I mean, his whole philosophy is perfect if you're a creature in the wild, but in our modern human civilization, letting him drive is a recipe for disaster. So where does the monkey steer us? He takes us to this place called the dark playground. And on the surface, it seems awesome, right? You're watching videos, you're scrolling through social media, you're doing anything but that big, scary project. But there's a reason it's called the dark playground. Yeah, see, the problem with the dark playground is that the fun you're having isn't actually fun. It's totally unearned leisure. And every single second of it is poisoned by this creeping awareness of what you should be doing. And that's why this supposed playground is just filled to the brim with guilt, dread, anxiety, and a whole lot of self-hatred. It's the worst of both worlds, really. You're not being productive, but you're not actually enjoying your time off either. So this brings us to a huge question, right? If this little monkey is so powerful and he's constantly grabbing the wheel and driving us into the dark playground, how does a procrastinator ever finish anything? I mean, how did that 90-page thesis ever get written? Well, it turns out the procrastinator has a secret weapon, a guardian angel of sorts. He's asleep most of the time, but he is the only thing in the world that can save the day. It's time to meet the panic monster. Okay, so here's how this crazy system works. A deadline gets terrifyingly close, or the risk of public humiliation becomes very, very real. All of a sudden, the panic monster wakes up. And here's the thing. There is only one thing in the entire universe that the instant gratification monkey is afraid of, and it's the panic monster. The second he shows up, the monkey is gone, scrambling up the nearest tree. And just like that, the rational decision maker is finally back in control, ready to steer the ship through a frantic, caffeine-fueled all-nighter. And there you have it. It's a completely dysfunctional, ridiculously stressful 3-part system that somehow, in the end, gets the job done. But this is where the whole conversation takes a much more serious turn. If this system works for deadlines, why do so many procrastinators feel this deep, long-term unhappiness and regret about their lives? This right here shows us the real danger. It turns out there are 2 kinds of procrastination. The one we've been talking about, the one with deadlines, it's stressful, sure, but it's contained. The panic monster eventually shows up to save the day. But then there's this second kind, a much quieter, more dangerous kind of procrastination. for all the important things in life that have no deadlines. And in those situations, the panic monster never wakes up.
And this is where the monkey's power is absolute. Just think about it for a second. Starting a business, getting into shape, learning to play the guitar, working on a relationship, taking the time to visit your family. None of these things have a hard deadline. And with no deadline, there's nothing to wake up the panic monster. So the monkey can keep you in the dark playground, not just for a week, but forever. And this is where procrastination really gets you, where it makes you feel like you're just a spectator in your own life.
So, what's really at stake here? To make this feel a little more tangible, let's look at a really simple but incredibly powerful tool. It's called the Life Calendar.
This is it. 4,680. That's one box for every single week of a 90-year life. When you look at it like that, it's not that many boxes, is it? And the really sobering part is we've all already used up a bunch of them. This calendar, it doesn't show deadlines from your boss or your professor. This is the ultimate deadline.
The truth is, every single one of us is a procrastinator. We all have something important, something without a deadline that we keep putting off, something where the monkey is still in charge. The real challenge for all of us is to stay aware of that monkey, to know his tricks, and to remember that the clock is ticking. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what are you procrastinating on? Because when you look at all those little boxes, it seems like it's a job that should probably start today.